Good evening. Thank you for joining us for our winter band concert. The group in front of you right now is our intermediate band. It is mostly students new to the Zion Benton Band program. Some of them were in beginning band here last year. Some of them were in middle school last year, and some of them hadn't played in a while and just picked that up and joined us for this year. So we're really excited to have you out. That was our first tune, Seagate Overture. It's by a composer named James Swearingen. Really old piece. If you were in band growing up, chances are you probably played a Swearingen tune. Maybe even played this one. So it featured a couple of soloists in the band, which was a big thing to do, especially for a younger group. So we had a lot of fun on it, and it's going to be one of our tunes. Hopefully we will be taking to a festival later in the year. So it's not going away. It's just going to keep getting better. Next tune, we always like to do a tune with the intermediate band that has some rhythmic element in it each year that kind of puts their brain on overdrive in terms of counting and things like that. This tune is by a Canadian composer named Tony Olson. It's called Pop. And if you can read in your program notes, it's inspired by popcorn. So you're going to hear all those little sporadic sounds in there, but everyone's got very intricate different lines, and I wrote all the lines out for the students. We practiced playing, clapping, all of them, and they're doing different things at different times. Sometimes they're playing the same line, but they're playing it a beat apart from each other. So it's pretty cool, and hopefully you'll hear us actually, once things go in, make the popcorn at the very end of the piece. So hope you enjoy. This is Pop. So before we wrap up with this portion of our program, first of all, we hope you stick around. We've got the concert band next. We've got the concert band percussion ensemble. And then we have our symphonic band. Just a calendar reminder for this group here, because this got added late in the game. April 5th, it's a Saturday. We want to have our calendars marked for that for this group. It was originally only a concert symphonic band event, but these guys are ready. We're taking all three of our groups to festival. So big date, so make a note of that. I will certainly send plenty of email reminders as well. We're going to be working on some new music for that. We're using some old stuff when we go to these festivals to get feedback and ultimately get better as well for it. So last tune here for this group is a Gallup. It's by a composer named Leandre Benton down in Texas. And if you read a little bit about his biography, he does a lot of different things. He was a music teacher for a while. He became an arts administrator. But he also had a side hustle of refereeing basketball, even up for NCAA. So pretty cool gentleman, and we're hoping that we actually get to meet him online pretty soon to do a little Zoom call or Google Meet or something with us later on in the semester, because we'll probably do this one for contest as well. So it's a little Gallup. It's got a kind of a funny title, but it's a pretty straight ahead march. It's called Giddy Up, and we hope you enjoy the remainder of Intermediate Band.
name is Aubrey Cedillo.
Hi, my name is Ina.
And today we'll be presenting The Thunderer. It's a classical march piece that shows many different parts to all of the lovely instruments in the band, with a sort of repeating melody with various changes in volume.
Miss Pierce taught us this piece in many sections by making sections to each change in the music. One of the places being called the dog fight, so be prepared for that. The name makes it sound more vicious than it truly is. Without further ado, we hope you like The Thunder.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ellie Hargett. I hope that you enjoyed The Thunderer as much as we enjoyed playing it. Our next piece is Shaker Songs by Frank Ticelli. Frank Ticelli was inspired by the humility and simplicity of the religious minority group, the Shakers, a denomination of Quaker. Shaker Songs is my favorite piece to play because of the upbeat and hopeful nature of the songs. All of four of the movements are so unique and inspirational in their own ways, and they all blend together so well. My personal favorite movement is the second movement because it reminds me of a mix of Ireland and pirates, and it makes me laugh when I think of Irish pirates. I hope you enjoy listening to Shaker Songs as much as we have enjoyed playing and practicing it. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Ticelli's Shaker Songs.
Tammy. This piece is called Chasing Sunlight by Kate Nishimura. This is a flowing song that reminds you of the first day of spring by a lake. It's a gorgeous piece that may bring you to tears because it did for me when I first listened to it. This is my favorite to play in rehearsal because it makes me smile, and it was an easy piece to learn, and we can't wait to play it for y'all tonight.
Chasing Sunlight is a very sentimental and special piece, not only to Miss Pierce, but to all of us as well. We spent the past few weeks really trying to understand the message of this song, so on behalf of the concert band, we hope you enjoy our take on Chasing Sunlight.
Can we give one more round of applause for our student speakers tonight? I did not tell them what to write. They just wrote what they felt about this music, and that's the most important part about this experience, because the music making is right here. I've been so proud of them and their work. And like Mr. Kazmi, we're looking forward towards our festival, and we thank you all for being so supportive of us and our music making. So here's Chasing Sunlight.
All right, so we got a little treat for you tonight. As you may or may not know, our percussionists from concert and symphonic bands actually rehearse separately during the school day, and part of that is they get a lot more individualized instruction. They get to practice on things they probably don't have a set of timpani at home and things like that to practice on. It helps us for our marching band drumline, and as a bonus, we get to play cool percussion ensemble stuff. I do want to take this moment because most of them are here helping us out. Sometimes, illness strikes, and surprisingly, when you spend a lot of time with some people who get sick, you also get sick. So we have a couple percussionists out tonight. However, we've got some great percussionists from both our concert and symphonic band kind of filling in places left and right. So even a couple from intermediate band. So I want to give them a round of applause for doing a lot of this like as of today. And they can only do that because they are such good readers and musicians, and they care a lot about each other, so they want to have a good performance. So anyway, this is definitely a change of pace from what we've been hearing so far in the program. Here's a little Coldplay for you. This is Viva La Vida. And we're just going to move a few more stands and such, and we will be with you with our symphonic band in just a moment. All right, well, thanks for sticking around, or if you're just joining us, welcome. This is our symphonic band portion of our program. It is our highest audition ensemble here at Zion Benton, mostly junior seniors, a couple of freshmen, and we even got a couple of sophomores. We even have a couple of freshmen helping us out today, and again, filling in some spots, things like that. First tune was just a fanfare by a composer. If you're reading your program notes, it's a little bit of a weird name, Pink Zebra. It's a pseudonym for someone who's really popular and has got something big in Hollywood, and he started writing choral music and then kind of started dipping into some concert band stuff. So something fun, a little great blast to open the program with. The next tune requires a little bit of explanation, so yeah, I'm gonna just kind of stall a little bit here because percussion's pretty busy back there. It's by a composer named Viet Quang, and he's a kind of an up-and-coming composer. He's written quite a few things in the last 10 years. He's won some major composition contests. I mean, he's younger than me. He is really just someone that took it up in high school and has just kind of continued. And his big thing is experimenting with different sounds. So the tune you're about to hear is called Diamond Tide, and there's a big explanation in the program notes about how basically researchers found how much pressure it actually took to melt diamonds. And he took that concept and built a piece around it, and some of the motives you hear are going to be these water themes and also these melting themes. And part of it comes from there's enough pressure on Earth that gravity doesn't really exist, but on planets such as Jupiter or Saturn, there's enough pressure in the atmosphere that can actually melt these diamonds. And he's basically painting a picture of a sea of liquid diamonds, and they kind of pop up like little icebergs and little fragments, but then they quickly melt again. And kind of the different sounds you're hearing back there, they're taking an instrument called a crotale, which is basically a pitch cymbal that's very small. Sounds like a high-pitched bell, and they're actually dipping it in water to bend the pitch. They're also playing with some wine glasses there with different levels of water to get different sounds. They're going to hit them, and you're just going to hear a whole bunch of other things, trombone glisses, lots of swirling kind of chromatic melodies in the woodwind. So it's a very interesting piece, a very cool piece. It's just something that challenged us a little differently. Not the most technical thing we've ever performed, but definitely very fun for our percussion section. How are we doing back there? Keep talking. Okay. Just some other reminders for calendar things coming up. We are going to Cincinnati in just a couple weeks. We're very excited about, of course, all the fun things we get to do, like stay at Great Wolf Lodge and things like that, but we also are participating in a regional concert band festival sponsored by Music for All. In the past, I have been in bands. We've been to St. Louis. We go to one in Arlington Heights at John Hersey High School every year. This group last year went to Minneapolis, so this is kind of continuing us to get our names out there in kind of on a national level, since we already have our name out there on a state level. So it's very exciting that we get to represent our school in yet another state. So I'll send out final itinerary details, any last minute balances, things like that in the weeks to come. And then as a reminder, the intermediate band folks, April 5th is just a date to have in calendar. That's our home regional concert band festival at John Hersey High School. We're taking all three bands, so we will be looking for some parent chaperones, because we're going to have at least 3 buses, if not 4 buses to caravan down to Arlington Heights. It's very exciting, but it takes many hands to do that. We good? Okay, so without further ado, this is Diamond Tide. It's going to be in 2 movements, so if you could hold your applause between them. We are recording tonight, so I'm hoping to get a very nice, clean recording. So this is Diamond Tide. So that was fun. On to our next part of the program. We're going to start, take it back a little bit, a slower pace once again. This is by a composer very familiar to us. Name is Julie Giroux. She started composing much like Viet Quang when she was a teen. She had already won Emmys by the time she was in her early 20s, and she's continued to write for a lot of things for film, and then eventually, within the past 25 years ago, probably when I was kind of in middle school, high school, she started writing tunes for more music for concert band, and has really gained a lot of popularity in the last 15, 20 years or so. And her music is just absolutely stunning, and she writes some things that are very higher, faster, louder, and she writes some things like this tune you're about to hear, which is a completely change of pace, very slow, and it's called One Life Beautiful, and it kind of has a double meaning. It was written initially for the former director of bands at Indiana University, whose daughter died tragically in a being hit by a drunk driver, and it was just very tragic. She was about 41 years old or so when it happened, and it was very hard, and as sure as any parent can understand, that's just the unimaginable to live with there. So it's a tribute not only to her life beautiful, but just in general, we've got one life, and it is beautiful, and don't take anything for granted in that. So features a lot of different soloists in here. We're going to tune a little bit because percussion is still setting up. We had to dip, those cortales I told you we were dipping in the water? Well, my bright idea was like, let's play a piece that actually uses them dry afterwards. So we're getting that set up, but we'll get a couple tuning pitches for the band, and then we will be on our way with One Life Beautiful. So yes, the theme for this concert is at least this portion of the concert has been a little percussion heavy. I want to, once again, I thank them during the percussion ensemble, but make sure students on stage get a chance to thank percussionists for a lot of them doing double duty, some of them doing triple duty today, filling in for our 4 sick percussionists tonight, so among the 3 bands. So please give them a round of applause once again while they're getting things going. It was a lot to do, not the news you want on the day of a concert, but they did magnificent. Our last selection for the night is by an Australian composer. We do a lot of composers from all over the place. There's quite a big band contingency down in Australia because it has heritage from the British band tradition, and this gentleman named Ralph Hultgren has made a name for himself, and you'll see on the date for this piece, it actually dates back to the 1980s, and it was originally used as a test piece when bands went to contests in Australia, and a lot of times in Europe. They will all have to play the same piece of music to be judged fairly on how they play that particular piece of music, and usually the test pieces are pretty challenging. So this is definitely a staple. If you grew up in Australia, you'd know this piece right away, but you probably don't. So it's called Bush Dance, and the Australian Bush Dance is basically the equivalent to the American barn dance. It's a very traditional folk songs played, lots of dancing, things like that. And one thing I want to draw attention to is a special instrument used in the percussion section, and it is called the lagerphone. Could we hold up the lagerphone? And as you see, there's a little picture of it in your program. Yes, it's a giant stick with a bunch of bottle caps on there from soda bottles. So it took a lot of soda to get all those caps on there, and they've been nailed on there. And we have to thank our CTE department, particularly Mr. Galligan and his Woods 2 class, for actually making that instrument for us. That's not an instrument they can't even find that instrument on Timo, I'm pretty sure. So it's pretty unique. It sounds like a big tambourine, but we want to be as authentic as we can. So thank you for joining us, and we hope you have a safe drive home. This is Bush Dance. Thank you all, and have a safe trip home.